Well, Devin, we're counting down now. Of course, we're already in the new year. And here we go, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Sean Bailey. I'm editor in chief at Horse's Mouth. I'm here with Devin Kropp, associate editor at Horse's Mouth, person who runs our advisor client program. We're here to talk about marketing. It's the first month of the year. Some advisors do their marketing plan in the year before. Some advisors do their marketing plan in the year of. It's never too late to have a marketing plan, because when you have one and it tells you the specific actions you're going to be doing week to week, month to month, we just know that it produces much better results. So, Devin, let's talk a little bit about marketing planning as our first item today.
Sure. Yeah. So when we're thinking about a marketing plan and, thinking about the full year, there's some things we definitely want on that marketing plan, right? We need to be thinking about communications, and that's communications that you're sending out to your clients, but also communications going out to prospects and centers of influence as well. Sometimes those communications might be the same, but there's oftentimes, you want to send a certain piece to a certain audience. And so thinking about from a year-long perspective of planning 12 months of communications and making sure that, you're sending something out regularly, whether that's a monthly newsletter that, you curate and you write yourself. Maybe that's using, a piece of content that you get elsewhere from your broker dealer or from, Horse's Mouth as an advisor client member. Thinking about how we can kind of schedule monthly communication pieces, so you, at this point in the year, would have a full year planned out, and you can kind of load it in your CRM and go, instead of every month kind of scrambling to think about what we want to be communicating about. And I think, part of that is really thinking about what are the key topics you want to talk about during the year, or key topics you want to share with clients and prospects during the year. And framing your marketing plan and your communication plan around monthly themes is something that we see work really well, not only because it organizes your thoughts and allows you to plan for a whole year, but it also, makes sense to clients and prospects, because number one, you are reminding them of all the financial topics you can help them with throughout the year, in an organized way, where, we hear all the time of advisors saying, a client came to me and said, oh, I had no idea you could help me with college planning, or I had no idea you could, talk to me about taxes. I thought, you could only help me with my investments and all of that. And so reminding clients of everything that you can do for them is really important, and something that all advisors should be doing on a regular basis. And I think sending out communication pieces around a monthly theme that touches on different financial topics, whether it's retirement planning, cybersecurity, IRAs, is a great way to organize kind of all the services that you provide for clients and prospects, and let them know that, yes, you can help them with these different topics. Because we know, they reach a new phase of their life. Maybe it wasn't a concern to them before, but this year it is, and you're reminding them and staying top of mind that way.
Yeah, Devin, I think that we often talk, or I often talk a lot about, from a marketing perspective, the advisor who positions him or herself as a financial educator and then walks the walk is going to be golden, because the public wants to be educated. And the thematic aspect of things is really important. As you were pointing out, many of our clients don't understand all the different things we can do. Yet here, a calendar of communications that's built around themes. Each month, you're basically positioning yourself and delivering and differentiating yourself as a financial educator who's talking about, taxes one month, and then estate planning the next month, and then college planning the next month, and then Social Security planning the next month, and retirement income planning the next month, and Medicare the next month, and just on and on. There's so much to say and do. And yet it's also very easy when you have it all laid out and you have access to the kind of content marketing that you can use on the digital space, and you can also use it, in other formats as well. So I think that the other aspect of that I'm very big on right now is that Advisors should be doing more webinars. Webinars, the pandemic has proven that webinars are important, that clients want them, that prospects will attend them, that you can meet prospects who will become your clients on them. And by the mere um, uh, the mere act of putting on one webinar a month, okay, on any topic, means you're communicating to your email list, clients and prospects, telling them about the event, putting on the event, and then telling them the event is over and here's a link, you can see the replay. um, well, there's 3 communications in 1 month with your clients around that one aspect. And we're saying, okay, here are some other resources that you also can be sharing with clients, articles and other things around these different topics. So I really feel that the thematic approach really is the way to go, because it plays to your strength and delivers on differentiation. We know that the public often says, I can't tell the difference from one advisor to the next. But if people are on your list and you're communicating with them month in and month out, not constantly about the same topic, but by 12 or 14 or more different topics, you're showing, you're building your expertise, you're showing your breadth of your expertise, and you're differentiating yourself against the other people across town who probably aren't doing that.
Yeah, that's a great point. And what we're showing here on the screen is kind of a full, complete marketing plan that we hadn't created with the content that we have in Horse's Mouth and that master members have access to, because we know there's a ton of content and it could be hard to curate and pick what you should be doing each month. And so built around these monthly themes, we have the communication pieces I was touching on, but also to Sean's point of how important the webinars are and how important it is that we're getting out to our clients and prospects with these. We also have those kind of built in, so everything is complementing each other. And that's something, when you're thinking about your marketing plan, if it's something that you want to build on your own, or if you want to use this, if you're building it on your own, think about how we can incorporate those 2 things so they complement one another, so your communication touches and your prospecting and client webinars are all kind of working together to reach that thematic point. I think that's really important. And it all comes back to education, right? All the communication pieces we're sending are educational. They're not, salesy letters or anything like that. It's good content, answers your audience's pain points. And then in addition, you're putting on these webinars every single month. There's going to be no doubt in anyone's mind that you're an educator. I mean, you're doing educating through email, through video, through webinar. You're really putting yourself out there and branding yourself as that educator.
One other aspect about the thematic approach, Devin, that I think is important for advisors to keep in mind, and that is the thematic approach to your marketing plan. And that is that when you do this, put it all together like we're suggesting you do right there, you reduce your cognitive load. Your brain, you are not going to have to worry 12 times a year, oh crap, I've got to get out the newsletter. What am I going to write about? Or I got to schedule this or that event. I'm going to worry and stress and so on and so forth. We're reducing your cognitive load by setting the table for you already. Or you're reducing your own cognitive load by taking the time to plan it and map it out so that you don't have to worry about what I'm doing. Oh, let me go to the plan. Let me see. Okay, this month we're doing IRA planning. Let me get the presentation, send it over to compliance. Let's get the article reprints out. And you're not, you feel much better, more relaxed, and better able to stay focused, be efficient in the office, and bring your best game to your client meetings.
Absolutely. I've been meeting with some advisors one-on-one this week as part of our advisor client one-on-one coaching from boot camp. And communication and scheduling these communications has been a big point in all of the meetings that I've had. And, I hear time and time again of, I want to be better with my communications, but it seems like each month I'm just kind of scrambling to get it done. And, I really want to have it planned out for the year. And exactly what you were saying, Sean, with, helping you kind of get ahead right now is taking some time, putting some time into your calendar if you haven't already for the month of January, and and scheduling all of this stuff, going through it, figuring out what you're doing for the month. Not only does that help you focus and get it done, but it also allows your team to help you do that too, right? You can kind of go through and pick what you want. And if you have a team member who can help you with this, share that with them and they can make sure that things are getting executed. But you've, decided in January what you're going to be sending out in August. And that gives you so much more time during the year to really be focusing on your clients. And also, if something big happens, in the news or there's something you need to touch on, you have a lot more free time to be able to write new content on that because you already have stuff in the can for everything else. So it reduces that anxiety around having to come up with stuff every single month and allows this to be much more organized and take up less of your time, I think, in the long run to really schedule, a couple hours right now in January and get your plan done for the year and be able to kind of set it and forget it.
Devin, I see that that Doug has been, putting up for the audience who's watching or watching later on replay. We're putting up a copy of a Word doc that's how many is it? 2 or 3 pages? It's 2 pages, I think.
I think it's 2.5. Yeah, 3 pages.
2.5 pages. Okay, so it's 2.5 pages, and this is a Word doc we're making available. We make this available to everyone, Devin, right?
I believe Doug can put it in the comments so they can download it. Yes.
So people can download this Word doc, and you can customize it, modify it, follow it exactly to the T through the Horse's Mouth Advisor Client Program. There's a lot of different things you can do, but I just did want to speak to the fact that that's up there and that we are making that available to people. We've really set the table for, pretty extensively there. But Devin, this time of the year, I believe it's up there in January, is the reference to something called key financial data. And this was an article that we started publishing on Horse's Mouth the first business day of the year, back since I think around 2003. Were you out of grammar school yet by then, Devin?
I was in middle school, yeah.
Middle school, okay. Anyway, we found that this article is an article version of what's up there on the screen now. And it became hugely popular and continues to be hugely popular with advisors. They absolutely love it. And they love being able to share it with their clients. That's what they were always asking us about. So we turned it into this 2-page, FINRA reviewed, totally customizable. You can get your different colors. You put your name, your photo, your contact information, your logo, all that stuff there. And you send it out to clients and you send it out to CPAs and other strategic allies and prospects. And a lot of advisors do this. More and more have been doing it every year. And Devin, what else is there to say about this? It's something that people really find useful. It kind of reflects a phrase we've developed over the years called bulletin board marketing, where you're sending physical copies of things to your clients that they can look at and see, I might need this, or this is important. They're just not going to chuck it into the trash. And instead, they're going to, take a thumbtack and put it up on the bulletin board near where they're paying bills or where their office is set up at home. Devin, what else? This is available to people at Horse's Mouth. Or what else do you want to say about key financial data?
2 things. So I'm glad you brought up, bulletin board marketing and copy of it because, we have seen kind of a drop in people using direct mail since the pandemic. Everyone kind of really migrating to digital, which obviously digital marketing has a lot of benefits. But for something like this, like such a nice reference card and something that's so valuable, there is a big benefit of getting hard copies and sending that in the mail to your clients and your CPAs. It's really easy for someone to delete an email or, get this and look at the PDF, but, not print it out or not do that. But if you send them, it's a full page size, so it's not a small envelope, they're going to notice it. It's nice card stock when it comes. It's much harder for someone to just kind of throw that out in the garbage without looking at it. So I do want to encourage people when you're looking at pieces like this that are so valuable, to really be thinking about direct mail and sending out hard copies of this and not just relying on email, because this is a really valuable piece. We know clients love it. CPAs especially love it. You would think, they have all this information, they know all this information, but it's in a format that's easy for them to just quickly look at and be able to do the work that they need. So don't discount direct mail right now. I would definitely recommend getting hard copies of this to your list. You can send it out as an email in addition, but there's something to be said for, getting a nice card stock document like this in the mail that's so valuable. And the second thing I want to say is that, yes, we always, are kind of waiting to finalize this until Congress adjourns. It is final now, so we are moving into, printing all of this. So if you have an order already, you should be getting it soon. And if you haven't already, now's a great time to order it because it is finalized and ready to go. And of course, if there are changes throughout the year to the tax code, we do update the PDF of it always, and that will also be available to you. So we do get that question a lot. So I do want to say, there may be changes this year to the tax code, and those will be reflected in PDF versions of key data.
If they relate to this tax year.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. So, moving on, we have getting down to something a little more technical. I shouldn't say that. There's something we offer people at Horse's Mouth called the Financial Fitness Checkup. Devin, what is that all about?
Yeah, so that's part of our advisor client program. It's a campaign that I think is really great, and the advisors who use it absolutely love it and do it every single year. And I did want to talk about it because I think it's a great piece for January, February, beginning of the year. It is I believe, like a 60 question checklist PDF that you can send out to your list, and it guides clients and prospects, if you wanted to share with prospects, through different areas of their financial life, and just kind of asks them, have you had any changes in this area? Is there anything we need to discuss, maybe relating to your retirement plans or healthcare savings, taxes? It really covers kind of every financial topic, and it's a nice PDF that you can send out. Again, something I would consider sending hard copy, and is really designed to open conversations with your clients about any changes in their life, maybe money that needs to be moved over or something that's going to change their kind of full financial plan. It's also great to send to prospects because they might be looking at this year and have experienced change, and again, maybe they didn't feel like they needed an advisor in the past, but maybe something happened, this year, or they anticipate it happening this year that they want to sit down and talk to you about. So it's a really nice piece, again, just to kind of get clients and prospects, meeting with you virtually to discuss changes in their lives. It's a really, I think, a nice touch for a client to receive, to remind them of the value that you add to their lives. Going back to the thematic piece too, it covers so many different financial topics that it's just a great reminder of everything that you do for them. And so we do have this available as a PDF that you can download, and we are also coming out with kind of a webinar slides for this. So if you wanted to send it out to your clients, and then you also want to have a kind of complimentary event around it where you invite your clients to come on a webinar, and you're going to discuss these different topics, encourage them to complete it during that time, we will have that up and going too. So that's just a nice value add for your clients, a good way to really get everyone together and make sure you're not just sending out the card and it's just sitting there on their table, but they're taking the time to fill it out, and hopefully come back to you with a meeting request or something like that.
Yeah, I believe, it's valuable service.
Yeah, we also have the last chance checklist, which I believe we talked about in an earlier session of our marketing meeting here, and it's like that where it's really designed for them to be filling out and sending back to you. But we had an advisor we were working with kind of do this webinar around the card, and she did it, I believe, at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I think she had like 20 of her clients come on and be there for it. So making events around these handouts and these cards can be really valuable, and I think clients do appreciate scheduling the time in their day to go through and really take a look at their financial picture for the year.
Yep. Good. Okay, so What do we have coming up next?
So in advisor client right now, for our advisor client members who are on the call with us, we are kind of going through a 3-part series on, webinar tips to help advisors get up and running with webinars. We do have our second session of that today at 4 p.m. So for advisor client members who are joining us right now, I will see you shortly there. And of course, for those who are not members, all of this would be available on demand if you did choose to become a member. And even more so than that, we do have for our master members a webinar coaching group going on too right now that really goes in depth on everything webinar related. And Sean, I believe we'll be doing another session of that later this quarter too, right?
I think so. Yep. What are people thinking about regarding topics to be presenting on as we get into January and February? What are some of the options that people are looking at?
Yeah, so in our advisor client program, the number one thing I think I would recommend is Deborah Taylor created a fantastic presentation about 6 key planning ideas for 2021. It's also kind of a review of 2020. That's kind of going through the FINRA review process right now, but is available to members to go ahead and present and submit to their compliance. It's a great presentation. Like I said, it covers a lot of what happened in 2020, but more so it looks forward to this year and gives some really concrete actions that clients need to be aware of from a planning perspective. I think that's a fantastic presentation to be giving right now or even in February. I mean, these are actions that they can be taking all year. So I don't think there's kind of a deadline for when you need to give it. If you're looking for a presentation, I would definitely recommend taking a look at that presentation. I think it's really well done and clients will find it extremely valuable.
Yep. Good.
Sure, yeah.
So, let's take a look at the questions. Yeah.
When will the printed cards go out? I know that they are in the process of going through and printing and approving them now. George, I see your name there, so I can have someone check on that on your specific order, and we can let you know what's going on there. Okay, and Scott is asking, where is the fitness checklist? So for those of you who are advisor client members, it's in advisor client under the campaign page. It's part of the communication program. If you scroll down a little bit there, it is called the Financial Fitness Checkup. Okay. Well, for those who, go ahead. Yeah. I was going to say, for those of you who are advisor client members, we do have that webinar today at 4, which will be really good, and looking forward to seeing you there. And please, take a look at that download of that marketing plan. And, it's something that I think could be really valuable for all advisors, whether you're a member or not. It can at least spark, some thoughts about what you might want to do with your own marketing plan too.
Yeah, I mean, I think on that download, it's like, on the one hand, if you're not a part of Horse's Mouth at all, you can still look at that thing, and you can modify the activities that are there to whatever you want to do. Some of those things are available a la carte as well, and some of them are available to people who are advisor client members, but not everything. And then our master members have access to all this. So it is. It couldn't be simpler. 2.5 pages for your whole year. And it's laid out there with the communication touches, the financial education events, the article reprints, the client handouts, the newsletter, the webinars, both for clients and prospects. Which, by the way, for people listening there, I don't think we can say it enough that one of the big learnings of 2020 was that I think a lot of advisors became reacquainted with the fact that they hadn't been educating their own client base enough. I can't tell you the number of advisors I talked to recently who said, wow, I had a record year of referrals in 2020. And when I would probe a little bit more and to find out, well, what was different about 2020 than 2019? And they were like, oh, in 2019, I might have done 12, 14 prospecting events and a couple of client events. But in 2020, I didn't do any client events. I mean, I didn't do any prospecting events per se, but I was putting on a client education webinar 12 or 16 times during the course of the year. And I was telling people to invite their friends, family, and colleagues. And you just wouldn't believe, the amount of referrals I got over the course of the year. So I can't really emphasize enough the importance of educating your clients as well as your prospects. Don't include them on everything. It's really important.
Absolutely. And yes, I see George asked here, are you still doing plan reviews for the homework? I think George is referring to our advisor client bootcamp program. If you complete the homework, we will do a coaching call, and the answer is yes. So you can email advisorclient@horsesmouth.com or me directly, and we can get that all set up.
Another advantage of being a member of Advisor Client
Yeah.
is that Devin puts on these 4-part, boot camps in December every year, and then in January people are finishing them up and taking advantage of the fact that she offers one-on-one feedback on your plan. So something to keep in mind. So, okay, it looks like we're getting to the end. Everybody, I didn't take the chance to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I think I'll just say Happy New Year. I'll keep it at that. And hope you're having good health, and stay safe. And